Imagine a weapon so small it could fit inside a briefcase, yet so powerful it could change the way armies, police, and even secret services fought their battles. A weapon often called the Krinkov in the West, shrouded in mystery, used by paratroopers, special forces, and even terrorists. This isn't just any rifle, it's the AKS-74U, the Soviet Union's compact powerhouse that blurred the line between submachine gun and assault rifle. Today, we'll dive deep into its history, design, service, and global impact. The AKS-74U was born in the late 1970s during the Cold War, a period when the Soviet Union needed a compact weapon for vehicle crews, paratroopers, and special units. Traditional rifles like the AK-74 were too long and cumbersome in tight spaces, while pistols and submachine guns lacked sufficient stopping power and range. The solution? A shortened version of the AK-74 chambered in the Soviet 5.45mm cartridge. Officially adopted in 1979, the rifle was designated AKS-74U, with the U standing for Ukuracheny, meaning shortened. At first glance, the AKS-74U looks like a miniature AK. It retains the same gas-operated rotating bolt system, but features a drastically shorter barrel of just 8.1 inches or 206 millimeters. This reduced length made it easy to carry, especially with the side-folding skeleton stock. The weapon maintained compatibility with standard AK-74 magazines, typically holding 30 rounds of 5.45mm ammunition. However, the shorter barrel created some challenges. Muzzle flash was enormous, recoil was snappy, and the effective range dropped to around 200 to 400 meters, far less than its full-size counterpart. Still, it excelled in close-quarters combat and rapid deployment scenarios. The AKS-74U's compactness led to both advantages and drawbacks. Its cone-shaped flash suppressor was designed to handle the extreme muzzle blast, while its lightweight frame, just 2.7 kilograms unloaded, made it easy to handle. It was never intended for long-range precision, but rather in situations where mobility, concealability, and firepower mattered most. Interestingly, Soviet tank crews nicknamed it the Suka, meaning bitch, because of its violent recoil and loud blast. In the West, the weapon became mythologized under the name Krinkov, a term whose origins remain mysterious, possibly derived from Mujahideen fighters or Afghan black markets during the Soviet-Afghan War. The AKS-74U quickly spread across Soviet forces, being issued to paratroopers, vehicle crews, and Spetsnaz units. Its biggest combat debut came in the Soviet-Afghan War, 1979 to 1989, where it was favored in mountain warfare and close-quarters ambushes. However, its short barrel made it less effective in open terrain, where full-size AK-74 rifles were superior. Despite these shortcomings, the weapon became iconic, not just in the Soviet Union, but worldwide. After the Cold War, the AKS-74U was seen in conflicts from Chechnya to the Middle East, often in the hands of insurgents and militias. Beyond the military, the AKS-74U found a strong role in Soviet and later Russian law enforcement agencies, especially the FSB and MVD police forces. For urban counterterrorism, its compact design was ideal. Officers could move through hallways, vehicles, and stairwells without the awkward length of a standard rifle. Over time, however, Russia began shifting to more modern carbines like the AK-105 and AK-74M, which balanced compactness with greater range. Still, the AKS-74U remains in service today in limited roles, especially among paramilitary forces. Like many AK family weapons, the AKS-74U was copied worldwide. In Bulgaria, the Arsenal AR-SF was produced. In East Germany, versions of the MPi-K series were developed, and in North Korea, the Type 88 carbine carried the same compact concept. Even China manufactured its own compact Type 56 carbines. In Afghanistan, the AKS-74U gained a legendary reputation, with captured rifles sold on black markets and eventually reaching American collectors, who further spread the Krinkov nickname. The AKS-74U is not just a weapon, it's a symbol. It has appeared in countless films, video games, and documentaries, becoming one of the most recognizable short rifles in the world. In games like Call of Duty and Battlefield, it's often portrayed as a high-damage, close-range weapon. In real life, it has been carried by soldiers, rebels, bodyguards, and criminals alike. Its dual identity as both a military tool and cultural icon gives it a unique place in firearms history. Today, the AKS-74U is gradually being phased out of Russian service in favor of more advanced carbines, but it remains popular among collectors, paramilitary forces, and irregular fighters. Its design may not match modern rifles in accuracy or ergonomics, but its ruggedness, simplicity, and intimidation factor have kept it alive for decades. In many ways, it represents the Soviet design philosophy: reliable, compact, and built for practicality, not perfection. The AKS-74U is a fascinating weapon, a bridge between submachine guns and assault rifles, a compact powerhouse that served Soviet paratroopers, tank crews, and special forces for decades. From the mountains of Afghanistan to the streets of Moscow, it has left a mark on military history and pop culture alike. Love it or hate it, the AKS-74U remains one of the most recognizable and influential compact rifles ever made. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the AKS-74U, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell for more military history and weapon breakdowns. What rifle should we cover next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below. Your idea might be our next video.